Oh, man, it is Cinco de Mayo. It is Cinco de Mayo, ladies and gentlemen. I just found that out literally about 5 seconds ago. But I mean, I hope everyone has some exciting plans for this Friday. I myself, I'm about to watch my little brother, who is a Marine, but he ended up getting out of active duty about 4 years ago, and he's graduating college, undergrad at 27 years old, summa cum laude. Very proud of him. And then afterwards, we're more than likely going to go out and just completely get saucy. However, I did want to hop on here with you guys because number one, like I said, Monday through Friday, I am going to give you a afternoon live show. I'm thinking 11:30 is a solid time. Monday through Friday, from here on out, 11:30 and 11:30, Monday through Friday. If you want to hop on during a lunch break, talk to me about a variety of different topics that normally are birthed out of the darkest corners of my mind. If you're new here, my name is Dan Mitchell. I'm a regular. Wow. Yeah, definitely. I need some more coffee. I'm an avid member of the Bills Mafia, and I regularly put out videos about the Buffalo Bills and the NFL in general. That's your cup of tea. Highly recommend subscribing to this channel. And as always, smashing the ever-living fuck out of that like button. Seeing a couple people in here already. My boy Elliot, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, Ronald. Good to see you. We have someone coming in saying, tell your brother I said congratulations. Super exciting. And Elliot just said right before the Pat McAfee show. Brilliant. Look at that. Wow, holy hell. I didn't even put two and two together. More than likely, I'm going to be watching the Pat McAfee show once I get off of this anyway. Brilliant. What's up, Jersey Dolphins? How you doing? Okay, guys. So you read that title correctly. And let's be honest with ourselves. I think there's a couple of position groups. I plan on doing an in-depth video of my overall prediction of the 53-man roster to begin with down the road, of course, once training camp starts going through, rookie mini camps, everything. But there's been a couple of position groups where I am completely scratching my head of being like, okay, how exactly are all of these players going to make this team, right? Most specifically, let me actually get one of the larger ones right here. Okay. My biggest thing right now is running back, right? Do we keep all four like on this roster right now? Maybe. I mean, maybe one of them is just exclusively there for special team situations. But let's look at it. James Cook, obviously, first running back on the depth chart. I really wish that he would gain some size this offseason. And I also wish that Dorsey would actually utilize him in the passing game, which is what he was known for when he was at University of Georgia. Damian Harris is obviously making this team, right? I mean, this guy, he is like your rendition of a power every down sort of back. He has that capability. His question is, can he stay healthy? Can he play an entire season? I think that's always been the reason, or the reason why I suppose New England was so open to him walk. And then Nyheim Hines, right? I mean, he was our kick returner last year for the most part. Rarely used him in any sort of offensive scheme. It was very frustrating to me that he wasn't implemented a lot sooner. We could have used him in several scenarios. But then you go on ahead and then you get, and Deontay Hardy, like on the wide receiver room right over there. So why did we pick him up? Is he going to be our kick returner now? Maybe they're going to split it up. Maybe Hines is going to take kick returns. Maybe Hardy's going to take punt returns. It's still completely blowing my mind when I'm looking at this overall depth chart by itself. So Hines, I don't see him being cut. Number one, we just paid him money. We restructured him, right? And then Latavius Murray, who I really want. I really want this man to make this team. It's just hard for me to be able to find a consistent 53-man roster spot for him, right? It's very difficult for me too. This guy would be perfect. He would be absolutely perfect for those short yardage situations, right? Third and short, this guy's going to get you 2 or 3 yards. Like that's almost a guarantee is that Latavius Murray is going to get it. But I'm just having a very, very difficult time seeing how he's going to make the final 53. Several Bills personalities, I think it was Sal Capaccio said this. His theory is that he's going to be on the practice squad, and then he is going to be called up in certain situations. Say, for example, we're going up against a couple of defenses that are known for a great run defense, right? I think when it looks at it, I think when we look at it this way, I think he needs to be on the 53-man roster, right? Like, that's the perfect sort of running back that's going to allow Josh Allen to take a step back and actually be somebody that we don't need to rely on with his legs all the time, because we need this man healthy. I'm not sure about you guys. I'm not entirely too confident in Kyle Allen, right? Like, being able to take up the slack if Josh were to go down. Saw something interesting right here. We have Jordan Smith coming in. And then also saying that we have 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs. Interesting. That's including our fullback. 6 wide receivers. I like that. 3 tight ends, 9 offensive linemen. Got you. 6 wide receivers gets pretty interesting too. Six gets interesting too. A lot of people are always about, hey man, should we keep 7? Should we keep 6? My thing is that you have to look at the way that Dalton Kincaid is right now as well. He's essentially going to be our wide receiver too. So, I mean, this really doesn't give a lot of opportunity. I mean, I would even say that Sherfield or Hardy might be on the block. I'm not necessarily saying that we would just keep 5 wide receivers on the roster. I mean, there's a lot of loaded groups, specifically defensive line and the trenches, like loaded groups that I think probably could stay. Would the Buffalo Bills say, hey, you know what? Kincaid is essentially one of our wide receivers, so let's just roll with 5 wide receivers on this end, and let's dedicate a bit more to our defensive line so we can just add a lot more depth into that piece, have these guys at the ready when entirely necessary. Very, very great take. Very great take as far as the overall structure of where you're going with right then and there. So, guys, I do want to go on ahead and go into the chat and just, sort of answer a couple of questions, or maybe I would love to hear your takes on the roster as well about where you think we're going to be able to take some, lose some, etc. But like I said, I think running back is going to be the most difficult. Wide receiver might be, because are we going to run with less than 6? Is that something? I mean, it would definitely be out of this world, but I think that Kincaid is basically looked at as a receiver at this point. So right before we end up hopping into the live chat for questions, for whatever you want to do, I actually just ended up opening up this one store. It's called Man Cave Fine Art. I've been messing around with artificial intelligence for the past couple of days, and I realized that say that you talk to it a certain way, it comes out with the most beautiful images on the absolute face of the planet. So I'm starting like this man cave, poster, canvas, fine art sort of thing. I'm going to be doing weekly drops where I am going to be, I would say, rolling out with some of the most unique Buffalo Bills, NFL-inspired sort of things right there. This is the first drop that has come through right over here. This guy, frame poster or canvas, whatever you would like. Look at this guy. This came from artificial intelligence. This literally came from artificial intelligence. It's not just the frame poster as well. Say, for example, you wanted to frame it yourself, or you just wanted the poster for your man cave, something to make it look a little bit more mature. This is what we got right here, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely beautiful. So if you are interested in that, definitely go ahead and check out that link in my description, Man Cave Fine Art. I am going to be releasing about 4 or 5 pieces every single Friday. That was just the inaugural run for the Buffalo Bills fans. Absolutely. Okay, so we have John coming in, hopping in and saying 6 wide receivers means 6 different styles of getting free. Moving them in and out and to mess with the defensive backs sounds like a plan. I mean, yeah. I mean, I honestly think that when it comes down to it, those 6 receivers that we just ended up putting out there, Stephon, Gabe, same with Khalil. Now we have Trent Sherfield, Hardy, who I think is going to be more of a special teams guy, to be honest with you. Shorter might. He probably needs to have a really good camp, and I wouldn't be surprised if we bring in a couple of undrafted free agents as well. So that could be something to really put out there. But I mean, we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see. We have Elliot coming in saying, I always want us to keep 7 wide receivers, but we never do. I feel like I have done that for a long time as well, but this might be the first year where that dedicated position group, I wouldn't know who the 7th would be. right? Like I wouldn't know who the 7th would be when I'm looking at this overall room. I mean, Sherfield, Hardy, and Shorter. I mean, Patman and Coulter and Johnson. I mean, if one of them makes the roster, like I would be absolutely shocked. But like I said, Dalton Kincaid, that's essentially your glorified wide receiver number 7 right there. Wide receiver number 2, at least at the end of the day. Okay, a little late to the show, but hit that like button. Mike, my man, thank you so much. One of the best to ever do it. That's absolutely right, guys. Make sure you smash that like button on your way in. We were just talking about the 53-man roster, specifically what we think some position groups are going to be a little bit more difficult than others, specifically running back. I really want to be able to pave a way. For Murray to make this team. I feel like he's super valuable, especially in those short yardage situations, especially in the red zone goal line. It's just, it's hard for me to find a way for him to make this team. Very interesting. Someone is going to get cut. Who will it be? Hardy, Sherfield, Khalil, or Shorter? Damn, that's tough, man. I mean, I feel like out of all four of those, I think it would be Hardy. I really think it would be Hardy just because his like main skill set was his ability to return a football. I think that Hines did great like in that category. And how crazy would Hardy be like in our offense, right? I mean, he's fast, small, he's undersized. I think out of all those four, I think Hardy is probably the one that's gonna like have the short end of the stick. But that's just me. And he's very good. He's very good. Okay, we have Buffalo Snowy 7 saying, Dan, and do you think we lose Diggs if no Super Bowl win? I mean, man, he signed a 4-year contract extension just last year. I could see him maybe wanting to demand a trade. I think that as long as we don't go down in embarrassing fashion and like we just go out and just at like absolutely have like a hard fought like game and season, then no, I don't. But I mean, say that we pull the same shit and we just have like a dominant regular season and then we just shit the bed during the playoffs in like the divisional, I could 1,000% see him 1,000% wanting to ask for a trade. There's no thing. I think they keep 4. Murray has some guaranteed money. I think Bean is planning on having 4 running backs when he promised he wouldn't draft running back if he signed during the draft. I like that. I like 4 running backs. So the 4 running backs, are you including the fullback? Because I typically include the fullback in that count. And so you're saying 4 running backs and 1 fullback. Spin 0481 says the wide receivers are the easiest to pick. We're keeping 6. Diggs, Davis, Shakir, Hardy, Sherfield, Shorter. Sounds about right. That sounds about right. Absolutely. Yeah, our running back looks crazy this year. Harris and Latavius will seriously help in bad weather games. Honestly, let both of them, like in very bad weather games, which Buffalo is going to have a couple. Let's be honest with ourselves. I mean, I think that we have just been plagued with a dark rain cloud over our heads for the past couple of years, where Buffalo has just had some of the shittiest weather games in the league. It's been really bad. It's been very bad. Yeah, dude. I literally think that Damian and Latavius Murray, like that needs to be 80% of our offensive snaps during that shit. 110%. Is Mike Green? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I see Gilliam always listed as like the as a fullback / tight end. He's like a utility player, something like that. With Gilliam is the 3rd tight end, 5th running back, however you want to classify him, man. He's just that utility player. We absolutely love him. But hey, guys, listen, like I said, I need to go on ahead and jet out of here. My brother's graduating here in about 3 hours. I got to get to the college. Root him on. He's graduating Coastal Carolina University. Super proud of the young man. And thank you so much for tuning in. I will be releasing some pre-recorded videos this weekend. I'm back at it every single day. If you want some more Dan Mitchell content, follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Twitter as well. Great way to go on ahead and get in touch with me. Instagram, you know the thing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Before I let you go, you better always remember, let's go Buffalo.